back with some new shit that back with some new shit that back with some new shit that.
Yo, what's up, man? We back at like a crackhead. This is your boy Ill. Alright, we back at it with some new info.
Next on the chopping block, we got Big Meech and Southwest T. Detroit legend, lawyer, Steve Fishman breaks down all these snitching allegations as Southwest T was his client, and he's breaking down how everybody is talking about Big Meech being a rat. Did he snitch or not? Was he a third party cooperative? We gonna get right into it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Go.
Amen, my brother. Amen. Preaching the gospel.
People are dead dog. You should have keep in your bed cause the Taliban's them a make work. We don't laugh, we don't take that.
Welcome to my block, blood splat dreams, dealers and dope fiends, chasing that cream. Step out that drop, caught up in the scene.
We're the same as everybody else was.
Please break the sense to be a black mafia.
I never heard the phrase black mafia family ever. It wasn't like Tony Down or YBI. I never heard that phrase. He was just Terry Flannery. He was just a guy from Southwest. The one part of the city I never was around was Southwest Detroit, and I was fascinated just by where the streets were.
Oh wow!
To tell you the truth. So and he was a regular guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's just a regular guy. And whether he was involved, I assumed he was involved in something. Because why else would he want to? And just by where the streets were.
Oh wow!
To tell you the truth. So and he was a regular guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's just a regular guy. And whether he was involved, I assumed he was involved in something. Because why else would he want to meet me? But there was no PMF and all this kind of crap. So he gets the time. And, I read it in the newspaper or somebody told me about it. And then this was back in the mid-2000s, maybe, something like that, I think, when it happened. And then he contacted me. I don't remember. He did or somebody on his behalf. And it was in 2017. What happened was, and this is important for your audience to understand, this had nothing to do with anybody talking or snitching or doing anything at all other than doing their time. The law changed, and they had a new section of the law that changed the way the guidelines were computed.
Who changed this law here?
The government changed it. This had nothing to do with anybody in the streets or anybody talking. The law changed, and Jerry contacted me. I can't remember if he himself or somebody contacted me, and he didn't have 10 cents. It wasn't like he came and said, I've got 30,000 for you if you can do this. But I always liked the guy. He was just a good guy.
Wow.
Can I help him? I said, I think I can help you. Wow. So I looked it up. And looking up, he got 360 months because of the way the sentencing guidelines were before the law changed. And when the law changed, the guidelines would have been reduced to 292 months. That's a 68-month reduction because of the change in the law. I contacted the prosecutor on the case, and I told her that Terry had contacted me. And I think the law is pretty clear. And she agreed. And that was on like the third day. And we submitted something to Judge Cohen, who was still the judge back in those days. And he signed the sentencing reduction, and it's in the file. If anybody, all these people think they can go look at federal files, you can see the order back in 2017, reducing T's sentence from 360 to 292. So he had 68 months, over almost 6 years, off his back. And then, when the pandemic came, he contacted me. I think he contacted me and said they had let him out because his health was bad.
He knew it all as a courtesy. I was like,
I've never charged him 50 cents for anything since then. So at the same time, his brother, I think, was hoping to get the same reduction.
Now, did he get advantage of the new change in the law?
I'm going to tell you about it, but he didn't. Not in 2017. Okay. Somebody contacted me who said they were with him, and would I be willing to do it for him? And I said, well, I don't really know him. And, I knew what I was doing, and I knew what I was dealing with. The only thing I knew about Meech was, of course, all that BMF crap themselves, which really brought the feds all over everybody. Wow. And I kind of was, I don't know him. It'd be kind of odd, and I didn't want to take any money from him. So I said, no. And then for some reason, instead of getting somebody else, I went and looked it up, knowing I was going to be talking with you. I don't think he got his sentence reduced for like another 3 or 4 or 5 years, even though the law was in place in 2017. But in any event, that's something that people should know because of all this talk back and forth that this is a snitch. He's not any goddamn snitch. The law changed and his sentence went from 360 to 292 as well. And
I just came up right there. It was 60 months.
Right.
Look at that's forever.
That's what I'm saying, man. He ain't saying nothing because I think in his conditions he can't talk. My uncle just got out. Like, he can't be speaking on nothing. You know? Can't come on social media and say nothing that got to do with his past case and all. These niggas just running content and shit. Everybody pointing fingers. This shit started with Wack. Wack always, everybody that been coming out for the last couple years is a rat, a snitch or whatever. The Master Splinter want everybody to be a rat, just like him.
And then, from what I understand, he was sent to the halfway house, which, you know, people have to understand, again, for those of you who are listening to this, when you get a federal sentence, unlike a state court sentence in Michigan, if you get a state court sentence, there's no good time, no halfway house, no nothing. If you get 2 years, you do 2 years, 24 months to the day, okay? That's not the feds. People need to understand that. In the feds, you get 54 days a year, good time, which is pretty much 2 months, okay? You can also go to the halfway house within 6 months of whatever your release date is. So when you get a long sentence like he had, 360 months, you're talking about 30 years times 2 months a year of good time. That's 5 years. That's 60 months off of it to begin with. So now it's 292, and now it's 5 years off of that. Now it's 232, and he did all that time.
And that's what everybody saying, that there's a 5-year window that hasn't been served. That's the whole chapter. Like,
a 5-year window? What do you mean?
I mean, like, he has 5 more years to do that. He's not doing it.
First thing, are they all geniuses? They understand the federal?
No, they do not. No, they do not. No, they do not. None of these niggas passed the bar. None of these niggas is lawyers.
So what I'm telling you is, before they start talking, maybe they should talk to somebody who knows something about the federal criminal justice system, so they don't say stupid things on YouTube or wherever it is that these young kids are at. But they're not such young kids, obviously, if they're talking about him. The long and the short of it is, everybody, there's nowadays, a lot of guys are coming home earlier, having nothing to do with snitching or telling on anybody, just because the system has now been set up that they're trying to get people through the system quick.
Man, so I don't know, man. Niggas gonna still have these big doubts or whatever. You know, we know for a fact Blue Da Vinci told on the safety valve. This dude Cuddy, I don't know if he probably compromised himself as well. And nobody's talking about Suarez, the Mexican or the cartel.
Nigga, next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up here.
FirstFamRadio.com. FirstFamRadio.com.